It's funny though, because there's such a buzz about the Academy right now.
We have 6 children ranging in age from 7 to 5 years old. We've got Fermin, Jose, Catherine, Therese, John, and Thomas.
We homeschooled for
About
3 years, and with our recent adoptions through the special needs program from China, it was just a lot of medical appointments, and some of the special needs were much more involved than we even pictured they would be, and so schoolwork wasn't getting done because I was at the doctor with some of the kids. And so I remember saying to my mom, I wish there was a school where I could just send them part of the time, because I liked homeschooling, I liked being with them, but I just couldn't do it all anymore. We didn't even know there was going to be the Academy at that point, but it's been very exciting being part of the first year of a new school.
I was living in Colorado, and had found out pretty much like in a moment and a day and a breath that the life I was living and the man I was married to was not who he said he was. And so we'd been married for about 10 years, and it was not, none of it was real. So I fell into obviously a state of shock and fear and all these emotions. And at the time, I had twin girls who were 8, and a 6-year-old girl and a 4-year-old son. Moved to Oklahoma with them and moved in with my parents, and just tried to start putting pieces together and make the best of what I needed to do. School was supposed to start in 2 weeks. I remember people that I did not even know giving us clothes, uniforms, binders, who just heard my story, and people there at the school just started supporting me like right away that I never even met. There's still people today that gave me clothes that I've never met that go to the school. And that's where I was before we started the Academy.
From a very early age, I was picked on several days a week, and that bullying only got worse. They tormented me so much that I wanted to let them know how much they were hurting me. And I said something very stupid. It got me, not them, in a lot of trouble. Some students who were actually concerned about my well-being took it to my teacher, who then took it to the principal, and I was suspended. Eventually, some friends of ours from church told us about the school that they were sending their daughter to. They thought that it would be a perfect school for me. Turns out that the school is the Academy.
I wanted them to have very rigorous educations, but this isn't a school where you throw them in and just force them to learn. They love it. With adoption, there's this initial loss that all children who have adopted have experienced, and the school is so focused not just on academics, but on the kids' hearts, and to have a love for God and what's true, good, and beautiful.
There's a lot of challenges associated with adoption, and they're going to have to face a lot of challenges in their life. And having an education is going to be things that's going to help them overcome the challenges they face.
There are at least 2 children in the boys' class that are also adopted, and one of them internationally. So the school is already diverse, and when your children might not look like everybody else, it's important that they're not the only ones. And so we appreciated the fact that there's a mixture in the school.
I just couldn't believe it was right there, literally in my parents' backyard. The school that I had decided 2-3 years prior that I wanted for my children was right there.
When we first came to the Academy, we were at a very rough stage in our life, and all of us in our family had different perspectives on what is going on. Sometimes you have friends along the way that God puts in your life just for that moment when you're struggling. We had some great friends that no matter what we needed, they were there for us. And then Travis came along.
We know that the teachers and everybody there love the Lord, so they love our children. They're concerned about their hearts mainly. It's almost like a second home, to be honest with you. It really is. That's the way I feel about it.
The Academy has been probably the greatest of God's blessings in my life. Before, because of everything that I went through, I had no self-confidence. I was terrified of people in general. I couldn't connect to anyone my own age on a personal level, and still had a hard time believing that anyone could and did care for me.
The curriculum is challenging, and I've been watching Amanda interact with the kids, and I think that what I've seen and what I've noticed is that our kids have progressed a lot farther in this year than I ever thought, and I think that Amanda ever thought that they would. And not even being through the first year, their strides in reading and mathematics have just been wonderful.
They've thrived socially. They really enjoy. They look Sunday evenings. They say, "Yay, we get to go to school tomorrow," and they enjoy. They have such fun people in their class, and they love their teachers. And I think for me, the first year, I just feel a sense of relief because there's a lot of pressure when you're the only person in charge of their education. And classical education is a lot of work. A lot of that burden's been lifted from my shoulders because of the academy.
Through the teachers, through godly leadership, prayer, just the truth, the reading of the Word. And I think there's some really good examples just with the teachers and the leaders there. They can admire and look up to on a daily basis.
One of my favorite things as a teacher that I ever heard was an education should be achieved, not received. And that is my goal in my classroom, is that they will achieve an education.
Shane and I both want to go out and be pre-K teachers when we grow up, hopefully at the academy when we're older. So helping little kids or just being a leader, that's what you're taught to do because you're just surrounded by leaders and teachers that care. And so Shane and I want to be that to little kids one day.
Life today is vastly different from what it used to be for me. I'm no longer the timid sixth grader who was afraid of his own shadow and afraid that nobody could ever love him anymore. I realize now that there are people that love me, and through their love, God has shown me that He loves me all the more.
I think what I'm most thankful for is people partnering together. We have parents and we have teachers, and then we have people interested in the school that don't even have children, and it really will take everyone because it's a big vision. I think it really will take everyone to do it.
Going forward with my life, after graduation, the school has prepared me for whatever is to come, whatever God's willed for me to do.
I can't imagine us being anywhere else, honestly. I can't. We're right where we're supposed to be.